It looks like you've got a cheering section over there. We were just talking backstage and they say, what a way to ruin the morning where she has to stay backstage and you can't hear John Maxwell the whole time as well as you'd like to hear him. But
I did hear him say that if it's your first time, you don't have to be good at it. Well, it's my first time, so I don't have to be good at it.
You'll be absolutely great at it. So anyway, Sommer, welcome. You've got a tremendous story, great family. One of the things that I think makes Sommer so special is that she is the wife of one of our servicemen. And that is part of her story. How did you come to find Beachbody?
Well, I initially got involved as a personal trainer. Honestly, I needed a more complete solution for my clients, so that was what attracted me to it, that it was more of a solution to help them change from the inside out. I love the philosophy behind all of it. So that's initially why I got involved, but my life didn't really change. It didn't really start growing until my wife smacked me in my face. When my husband deployed for the very first time, I felt like my heart was ripped out of my chest. I remember being in the hangar and hugging him for the very last time and not wanting to let go because I was afraid I was going to forget what he felt like and what he smelled like. And I remember having to tell him he had to go, and I didn't want to let go. And watching my 4-year-old son in his cute little flight suit, watching his dad taxi off, and I was watching from the side, and it's like time was frozen. And a single tear, I'll never forget it, just rolled down his face. And it was so surreal, and I felt for the first time in my life completely helpless. He was in so much pain. I remember driving home, and a 30-minute drive felt like an eternity because those little sobs coming from the back seat, the uncontrollable sobs, there's nothing I could do. I felt helpless and sad and angry, and everybody kept telling me that it was going to get easier and the pain was going to fade, and it didn't. For me, it just got bigger and bigger to the point where I was surviving instead of living, if that makes sense. And I didn't feel like I felt like a failure as a mom, as a military wife, and as an American, because I felt weak. People kept telling me to stay strong, and I felt the weakest I have ever felt in my life because I couldn't keep it together for my family and for him. And while we are so blessed, you guys, to have these families that sacrifice so much for us and are so selfless and give up so much, I knew deep down in my heart that it's not what I wanted for our family. It's not what I wanted for myself, and as selfish as that sounds, I knew he didn't want it either. And so one morning, I'll never forget, I was walking downstairs after a sleepless night with my 10-month-old, and I lived on coffee at the time, and a quote that I have walked past 1,000,000 times stopped me in my tracks, and it said, if you want something different, you have to do something different. And it was at that moment that I made that decision to do something different. I had this amazing opportunity at my fingertips that I was failing to see the potential in. It was my fault for letting that slip through my fingers. I wasn't putting in the business what it deserved, and it had the power to change my why. And so from that day forward, I got up a little earlier. I stayed up a little later. I stepped outside my comfort zone. I remember very vividly loading the kids into the car because I just had to get back to my hometown. You know, I had 1,000,000 excuses.
You had two at this time, too.
I had 2 kids. I loaded up, 10-month-old, a 4-year-old, a dog, and I had 1,000,000 excuses why I shouldn't be going back to Ohio to see Janelle Summers, Tommy Migrant, and Tracy Morrow were speaking. And I knew I had to get there if I wanted to grow. And so I drove 12 hours with a baby that cried for 9 of the 12 hours. But I knew I had to get there, and that's what I did. It caused me to throw my excuses out the window and to slowly grow. And because of that decision 2.5 years ago to do something different, that I deserved something different, I've built an amazing team that has picked me up when I've fallen, that has got me through 2 deployments, that was there for me when I gave birth to a little baby boy by myself. We have paid off $100,000 in debt because of it. We have no debt. We just weren't up here yesterday because
You didn't submit the application.
yeah, exactly. If I would have given it to my assistant, it would have got done probably, but I didn't. And 2.5 years ago, he told me, I asked him, what do I need to do to create the financial security for you so you feel like you can step away from the Marine Corps? And he said, you just have to match my salary. Easy, right? Well, just last week, I quadrupled his salary.
I know, Sommer, that it was just back at Disney. We were at Disney, and you qualified to go to Disney, and Chad was supposed to be home the week before, and I remember getting a phone call. It was one of those kind of gut-wrenching phone calls, even for us, where it was, you know what, you weren't going to come to Disney because Chad was going to be home, and then it was that phone call that said, Chad's not coming home now for another week or so, so can we come to Disney? And we got to the Disney, but your dream has been to get Chad home, and I think one of the treats this morning we'd like to do is, not only is Chad home right now, but we'd like to have him join us on stage. So ladies and gentlemen, would you please help us welcome Captain Chad Tucker of the U.S. Marine Corps. Before we hear from Chad for just a moment, but we also realize that there are many coaches whose families serve, who have spouses, loved ones, children, parents that serve. And we'd like to take a moment and just turn the house lights up. And anyone who is in the military, who supports someone in the military, has a family member in the military, we'd like to have you stand, and we'd like, as a group, to recognize you for your service. Thank you very much. Well, Chad, there's another side to the story, I know, but just take a moment and share some of your thoughts. Remember, you need to keep
Just keep yelling at me there, sorry. Man, this is amazing. I appreciate it.
You're used to people yelling at you in the military, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're a captain, maybe you're on the other side.
Not really. No.
No.
Keep going.
Here, you can hold that on.
Okay, there we go. Keep it right here. Just want to thank first of all, our team for being here. This is it's an amazing opportunity. I feel like meeting all these Hollywood stars. So I'm sorry for my voice. I know I'm supposed to be a big bad Marine, whatever. So I'm not big, obviously, and I'm not bad. So I'll probably start crying here in a second. But what Sommer has done for us, I can't really too well put it into words, but just kind of paint the picture for you. There's nothing quite like seeing like the picture that Sommer described of a little boy. I can't even look at the picture. I plug my ears in the back there so I didn't listen to the story because I can't take it. And then you couple that with seeing your child born or Skype. That's it, you know, so what she's done is, I can't thank her enough, and it's not anything, I think Mandy said earlier, it's not anything anybody else can't do. She's amazing, and she's pushed through, and she's sacrificed so much for us. And then, you know, in 3 years, we can call it quits, you know. I'm very proud of what I did in the Marine Corps. I love the Marine Corps, and I love all the experiences I've had with it, and things I've done. But, you know, life's about time, right? I'm sorry, life's about time. And, you know, in the military, you count everything by time. So time, how long do I have to deploy? How long is the deployment? When's it come home? Okay, when's the next deployment? When's the next attachment? You know, it's just the way it is. So we can just spend time. I can meet my kids at the school bus. That's kind of cool.
Anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
I think if you find that why that you're willing to fight for, all the sacrifices will fly out the window. And that's when you can really change your life. Find the why that you're worth fighting for, way past the surface, and really, really fight for that why.
All right, well spoken. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad and Sommer, thank you so much.